Well, I feel like it's predictable what I'm going to say, but obviously, you know, the magic of the RedBlue weekend speaks volumes of how lucky it is. We all are to be both players and coaches here at the University of Arizona. I mean, very few arenas are filled to capacity. Keep in mind that I think that the tickets went on sale in June and lasted for about 10 days or maybe even less. I think we almost sold them all in about 2 days. But to have 14,500 fans for tonight's weekend is incredible and you know, awesome is what I would say. And equally nice for the 1997 team win a national championship. It's sacred and it feels that way here as it should. And to watch Miles Simon, who was a big part of that, get his number retired, I think is awesome. The right thing, but also I think might pave the way for some others who've done some incredible things here as players and haven't got their number retired. And there's a long list, as you guys know. In terms of our team, I told our guys after the game, I've watched players in this game in the last 7 years be the highest scorer, and a month later not be good enough to even play in a regular season college game. I've watched guys struggle in tonight's red and blue game, usually the first year players, and become first round picks that summer. You know, you have to take what you see out there with a grain of salt, but it is always a reminder when you watch the red blue game, the advantage of experience. And I think back to Parker a year ago in this game, or maybe 2 years ago, when he would have been playing head to head with TJ, against TJ, and Parker would have been a freshman. And man, he's really gotten better. I think it's very obvious to see. He's stronger, faster, more sure of himself, and I think he's one of the many things that I'm really excited about. Ditto for Duson. You know, I don't know if there's from an offensive perspective, you know, too many 7-footers out there who have the touch and the know-how to score like he does. And as you can tell, he's running better and worked really hard over the summer. So there's a lot of guys in that boat, but usually who they aren't the guys who just get here. They're the ones who've been here before. Kadeem Allen, ditto for him. So we move on, and once the red-blue closes, then it now moves to a different chapter, and that is it's about the next 3 or 4 weeks. How much better can this team get? And you learn more and more about yourself every day, and I think it's going to be an exciting journey.
What was it like being a prop for Raleigh's dunk?
You know, he's a great kid. He's really funny and has an amazing personality. But he actually started to talk to me about this about a month ago, and of course I filed it away and forgot about it. But he reminded me 2 weeks ago, and then after shoot around he waited for me, and I thought something was wrong. And all of a sudden I looked at him, and you could tell that he was about ready to ask me for the third time. I said, "Okay, I'll do it on one condition. If you let me coach you really hard on defense and make you play defense, I'll do it." He said, "Deal." But I'm sure when you watch him go about that, it tells you a lot about him. He has great charisma, team guy, really a fun person to be around. I'm excited that he's here.
When was the last time you had an assist?
Long time ago. Yeah, I guess that was one.
So,
And I also thought for the new guys too, I thought he played well. You know, you can see he's really strong driving to the basket, and he's under control. A lot of guys who are really strong drivers at times are out of control when they get here. He's really not. He'll make the pass, and I think he's somebody that we have a lot to work with to help him become better.
so that wasn't rehearsed at all? There was no practice?
No, first time.
No.
Yeah.
Is he a natural left-hander?
Meaning
Raleigh?
dribbling or
Yeah, well, anything. I know a couple of those nights layups he made were
Yeah,
really
he can,
nice
you know,
left-handed.
I think he can go both ways.
Oh, okay.
Very easily. He's right-handed, but in terms of being able to drive strong, he can go both ways.
Sean said a couple weeks ago at the media day that you kind of wanted him to be more aggressive, and you wish he had been more aggressive last year. Just what do you see in him that, because he looks like he's going to be more offensively at least.
Who's that?
Sean, Allen.
Kadeem.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
You're Sean.
Yeah, you know, Kadeem, we talked about using him away from the point guard position some to free him up to use more energy as a defensive stopper. Even see tonight, I think he has more talent in that area. as a perimeter player than maybe anybody on our team. But you have to remember, a couple years ago, Kadeem averaged about, 28 a game in Hutch, and he's waited his turn, and he's paid his dues, and he's had a really good offseason. He's mature, he's older, and we need him to be a really good player for us, for sure. And, I think, the combination of Alonzo and him, you look at Parker, we have more depth in the backcourt. You throw Kobe, and it's tough to judge Kobe right now because we're asking him to play two positions, one of which is the point guard. And there's more of an upside to that, but right now, he's not going to look as good playing in this game as he otherwise would have if, for example, I just gave him one thing to learn. So he has a lot going on, but I think for his career and also the depth of our team, we're trying to move him back and forth right now. So you look at Raleigh, and then same thing with Ray. I mean, there's Ray's first time in McHale other than last year's RedBlue game. He has a ways to go. He should. But I've already seen him over the last 3 or 4 weeks make tremendous gains. And I'm excited to continue to watch him, and hopefully he stays injury-free.
Coach, Ray's shot seemed to be pretty nice, smooth, soft shot. Can you just talk about his offensive game and how it's developed over the last year despite the injury?
Yeah, well, first of all, Ray's had to spend a lot of time in the weight room. You can ask our strength coach. I think he's the strongest player on our team leg-wise, which is big for his future because it protects him. And one thing about his injuries, both have been repaired, so they're stronger now than ever before. He has additional leg strength, and I think that's the foundation for his growth. He's worked on his game, he's worked on his shot, but he really started playing 5-on-5 about 3 or 4 weeks ago. So you can imagine, it's been a long time off. I think judging him tonight, watching him maybe 2 weeks from now, a month, 2 months from now, my hope is that, like a lot of our freshmen, you'll see him gain confidence, continue to be more sure of himself.
Can you talk about Markkanen and some of his offensive game and where his footwork's at and how far along that needs to come?
Lowry had 14 points and 7 rebounds. I think that's pretty much to be expected from him. We don't have a lot of our offense in. There are times when we just dribbled around. Again, we've only been practicing for 8 days, but as our offense smooths out, there are so many things that Lowry can do, not only for himself, but to make our team better, harder to guard. And I think you guys can see that he's not 6'8". Lowry's 7 foot, and he's not slow. He can move. So, there aren't a lot of guys his age out there playing college basketball. And, again, we're excited to have him. A lot of these guys are new. It's going to take time. They're going to make mistakes. But I think our team will grow as long as we're healthy from each practice and each game throughout the year.